Hey guys, how you doing? It's the Intuitive Investor here from StockTwits. No, this isn't a blunt. What this is a nice Oil de Monterrey. It's one of my favorite brands. It's not a blunt. I think some people might confuse this with a blunt. It looks like a blunt, but it's not a blunt. Decided that I'm going to go ahead and focus today only on Namaste. It is one of my only two holdings that are cannabis stocks. And I wanted to give the average investor, average Joe Schmo like myself, who sometimes gets lost in all the technical jargon and some of the language that's discussed in some of these analysis reports, and just kind of give you the bare knuckles of what Namaste is and where it's headed, and where I believe we can expect it to go. So before I get started, one thing that I did want to mention is that I think that if you're investing in cannabis right now, you're definitely in the early stages. You're definitely in the infancy stage of these stocks, which makes it very risky, but also potentially extremely financially rewarding. I would coin 2018 to be the year of the insider for cannabis stocks. And I would say that in 2019, it'll be the year that it goes mainstream. And finally, in 2020, anybody who is now wanting to get in is probably now paying maybe 300, 400, 500% premium on the stock. So it's a good time to get in if you have the cojones to get in, that is the balls. And if you're that type of investor that is willing to take a gamble with hundreds and hundreds of stocks to really pick from, it's kind of hard to figure out which ones are going to be the ones who are going to make it and which ones are the ones who are going to be swallowed up or maybe even acquired, which isn't a bad thing. So Namaste is who I want to focus on today. If you look at the news, I don't know, I have this annoying fly that keeps flying by here. If you look at the news in more recent times, everybody's been patiently waiting for that license agreement to come through. I know that there was word on the street that it was supposed to be released, that news was supposed to be released this Friday, which would have been September 7th, and it didn't. And that's okay. So, in looking at the more recent news, I was looking at Matt McCall, who in the 9th of August came out with his analysis on MoneyWire, who's a leading analyst, I guess, had discussed Namaste as a leading e-commerce company, and even dubbed it to become the Amazon of marijuana. Now you have to understand that he's not the only one that's labeled it that way or has paired up Amazon with Namaste. He's actually one of several others. So Namaste is a $300 million company that's duly listed. So it's listed also here in the States, but then also in Canada. Here, our symbol in the United States, it's NXTTF. But the company offers a wide variety of cannabis-related products. They have 30 e-commerce websites currently running, and they're available in, get this, 20 different countries so far, and that number's only going to continue to expand and grow. It's your everything cannabis store, similar to Amazon. And Amazon, you can find everything from light bulbs to karate belts, I guess. And so with Namaste, it considers itself your everything cannabis related store. So you could find everything that you need online through their websites, which is dynamite. Everything from vaporizers to glassware to CBD products. So it's a very promising company that's only going to continue to grow and continue to make the right deals and partnerships. In March, it received its production license to produce medical-grade cannabis through CanMart. And as the recreational and medical legalization continues to grow, you'll notice that a lot of these companies are only focused in the country that they're in. And the reason why I bring this up is Namaste is not necessarily doing that. Namaste is already thinking way ahead. A lot of these companies are thinking in the here and the now, and Namaste is thinking ahead of the game, which is the reason why they're in 20 different countries and growing. Some of the countries that they're in, just off the top of my head from the research that I was doing, was obviously the States and Canada. They were in Brazil, the UK, in Israel, and a few other places. I can't remember. It's 20 of them. It's a lot. But Canada and North America and the United States happen to be in the top 5. So 2 of the top 5 consumers of cannabis is on there. And interesting to note, Iceland on multiple websites happen to be the top consumer, which is bizarre because it's outlawed in Iceland. So I don't know what's going on over there, but it'd be great if they can get them to be legalizing medical and recreational marijuana. So Namaste sets itself apart because it's already thinking of tomorrow. It's already thinking of where it needs to be available. And so if it's already in 20 different countries, I mean, this is really going to be good for the company. You've got companies that are just only available in Canada. But these guys are already available in 20 different countries, so that's awesome. So that's one thing that it really has going for it. Another reason why Matt McCall had considered it the Amazon of cannabis was it's the use of artificial intelligence. As you know, artificial intelligence and gathering consumer information is the thing. Everybody and their mother is using it. And Namaste acquired a company, Findify AB, Findify, I'm sorry. And they acquired them so that they could internally use AI intelligence to be able to increase and bolster their online presence, especially all their sales through Namaste MD, which is Namaste's own online platform to be able to secure a consultation with a healthcare provider, but to also be able to secure a prescription. So again, they're way ahead of the game. Not too many other cannabis companies are doing that. So Namaste is doing it in-house. As I said earlier, Namaste has been making some partnerships, and with everybody speaking about partnerships happening with Moores, and then with, I'm sorry, not Moores, Coors, Molson Coors, then with Heineken, and then there was Constellation. Everybody's talking about Diageo, and who they're going to go with. It'd be interesting to note that as the pool of companies gets slimmer and slimmer and slimmer, it would be interesting to see what really ends up happening with some of not only the local alcohol brands, but also the ones that are overseas as well. So anyhow, Matt's not the only one who thinks that Namaste is a potential Amazon-like cannabis company. So did Amherst Langston, who's a board member of Show Me Cannabis, and in her March article, she called it the Amazon of cannabis. On January, Paul Washisam, a research analyst at Lombardi Financial, also dubbed it the Amazon of marijuana. And then there was Gary Bourgault, another research analyst, in March, said that Namaste could become the Amazon of the cannabis sector. So as you can see, Matt's not alone. He's not the only one that is eyeballing this company. And I think that as this company gains more public notoriety, I think more people are going to end up buying into this. They're going to be able to see what exactly they do. They're going to realize that it does more than just sell products online. They're going to discover that this company's got its tentacles in many different income-producing projects, which is absolutely what I am looking for. I am looking for a company who doesn't rely on just one stream of income. I'm looking for a company who can produce multiple streams of income, and that's exactly what Namaste does. It's priced really well right now. I think it's just over $2. It's really close of being included into the NASDAQ. Everyone who I've been talking to on the boards are extremely excited about that next milestone. So it's only going to go up. And I think as it begins to go up, you're going to see more and more people buying in. It's a volatile market in the cannabis industry anyways. So the ups and downs are going to happen. So when it drops, don't be surprised. Don't be afraid. Don't be scared. But at the same time, realize that we just saw a 20% pop. This past week, we just saw Namaste grow an immense 20% in one day. So if we're going to be excited about that, and we also have to recognize that due to the volatility of this market, we might also see a 20% drop, but it doesn't necessarily mean that there's anything inherently wrong. It just means that people are just taking profits. I have yet to take a profit. I'm not sure if I will, but I might at some point. So, other than that, there's some other news about, back in August, they'd announced that its subsidiary, CanMart, had completed its pre-sales license inspection, and it was really one of the last inspections before it gets fully licensed. Let's see, September of 2008, it talks about its agreement with Keef Cannabis. Keef Cannabis only focuses on producing the highest grade of marijuana that you can find in the market, which is exactly what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for a cannabis company who produces the bare minimum, because when you do that, you produce inferior product, inferior weed, and people aren't looking for inferior. I mean, maybe there's people that are just looking for the bare minimum, but I like that approach. I like that they'd rather focus on their higher echelon. I'd rather them focus on the smart buyer, the smart clients, the clients who have resources to be able to buy and buy the best. So again, another green light for me for Namaste. I think that they'll continue to grow as a company. It's my expectation that once they get included into the NASDAQ and once they get that license, hopefully before October 17th, when everything is a go in Canada, we're going to see this stock explode another 100% minimum. So let's just wait and see. I'll continue to follow this stock extremely closely since I am already invested in it. And let's see what happens this coming week. Alright guys, if you aren't already following me, make sure you follow me on StockTwits as the Intuitive Investor. Take care.